Okay, let me make sure I understand you correctly, right? So you want to know if while we were living in the land of Canaan, if we did mix ourselves with them. Is that what you're asking? So can you make your question simple?
So when we're in Canaan, God was with us, right? Amongst us, or we didn't know God at that time?
What is the question? I need you to know the question because you're asking 100 questions.
I don't know. I'm hoping that you guys can help me.
I can help you if you can make it simple. But you ask this question after Egypt, before Egypt, in this thing, got me the. Which question is it? You know what I'm saying? No problem. If you have 100 questions, no problem. But we can only answer one at a time. You get me, right?
Right.
Okay. What's your first question?
I don't know. Let me not stop what y'all doing.
Okay. Let's go to Genesis, the 27th chapter.
Genesis, chapter 28, verse 1.
Where's the brother? Oh, okay. He's giving the fly. All right. Listen to this.
Genesis, chapter 28.
As far as us living in the land of Canaan. Remember, when you read Genesis, the 24th chapter, Abraham made his servants swear to him that he will not allow Isaac to get a wife of the Canaanites.
Right.
They sent to get Rebekah. The same thing for Jacob. The same thing. Read that right there. Read it.
And Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him and said unto him, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan.
You see that? Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. Why? Because he know the law.
Right.
Abraham kept the law, Isaac kept the law, and Jacob kept the law.
Right.
The law is no interracial marriages.
Right.
Because they were not of that nation.
Right.
So they did not marry somebody outside of their nation.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's the reason why Abraham make sure that he got a wife of his lineage,
Right.
from his ancestors. So I'm saying, of the same nation he came from, for his son, and his son Isaac did the same for his son Jacob. All right, read.
Arise.
Why? Let me show you. Oh, okay. Read it again.
Arise. Go to Padan Aram, to the house of Bethuel, thy mother's father.
You hear that? Mother's father. That's his next of kin. Read.
And take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother.
Hear that? So that's how they did not join those people. Even Abraham, when he was living in that land, he didn't get caught up in that madness.
Right.
Remember the Sodomites, right? The people of Sodom and Gomorrah. They were Canaanites. They were Canaan children, Hamites. But Abraham did not mingle with them at all. Even his servants were of his nations. You see what I'm saying? Yes, he had a couple of other slaves that was other nations that, Pharaoh gave him, and Abimelech gave him other servants and stuff, but he did not mingle his seed because he kept God's laws.
Right.
So the fact that, like for example, in America, they call it what? The Great Melting Pot. That means there are many nations here. Is it impossible for us to keep that law?
Is it impossible? No.
Because we have our nation here.
That's
we
right.
can marry among them.
Right.
Which was different for Joseph and Moses, because where they were living, their people were not there. So now we're just a little people. Now when we went to Exodus, when we went to Egypt, and around that time Jacob was in his old age. We were a little amount, not even 100. We became a nation in the land of Egypt. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, if you become a nation there, that's where you get your education from. That's the culture you know. So we're talking about like 400 plus years. You know, it's just like here. We even forget at least back then they remember the Hebrew tongue, right. But this time we don't even remember it.
Right.
That thing is gone. We're speaking English now. So that's the reason why God prophesied in Isaiah that the Bible was going to be translated in different languages because we'll be scattered and forget who we are.
Right.
According to the prophecy in the Bible. That said, they sacrifice unto idols, not unto God. And it tells you in 32:26. Let me get that. 32:26. And
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 26. Verse 26. I said, I would scatter them into corners.
Yes, when did that happen? That's when it happens. That's when we were scattered into corners, you see? From here, all the way to Europe, all over the place. See that? Into corners. All four corners of the world.
Right.
We were scattered to. Read.
I said, I would scatter them into corners. I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men.
You hear that? I will make the what?
The remembrance of them to cease from among men.
That's the reason why we're here today, bringing back your nationality to you. Why? Because it ceased from among men. Right. That besides us, basically, that we don't know that we are of the nation of Israel. We are the people of the Bible that everybody's reading. But the nations, they know who we are.
Right.
We don't know because the prophecy had to come to pass. You see what I'm saying? So what's your next question?
The land of Israel, Canaan, right? Really Israel, right? Now, is that an African land?
Yes,
or is that
it is.
part of Shem's land? Meaning, because if it's Africa, wouldn't that be part of Ham's?
Okay.
I'm just...
Canaan, whose son was he?
He was part of... Canaan was... It's part of Ham's line. I don't know if his son, grandson...
Ain't the Hamites called Africans?
Yes.
So, is it hard to understand?
No, but if the land we say is ours, it's the land of Canaan.
Give me a second. Ezra 7:10. You said if the land we say is ours, it's not just the land that's ours.
I don't mean to say it that
No,
way.
no.
The land is ours.
Okay.
But we call it Canaan.
But they were living there. We have to fight them to get it. Listen to this.
But isn't land, God gives the land, when God gave the three sons their lands and territory, no one can go in someone else's land and...
Where were we?
So wouldn't we be...
Where were we? Where were we before we went into Canaan?
Well, it was only Abraham, right?
Where were we before the nation of Israel got into Canaan?
In Egypt.
Okay, so we had squatters there.
Yeah.
Squatters. You know the squatters, when you have a house that's closed and people just go in there without paying rent, they just settle in there?
Bring it out.
Right.
Yeah, so I said we had squatters in the land.
What?
So then the owner claimed it back.
You said the owner claimed it back?
Yeah, we're the owner.
Bring it up.
Let me get that. Read that.
Second Ezra,
That's what you need to know. Not just like today. The land we're in, what land is this? Right here. Right here. This land.
Right.
What country is it? No.
This is America.
It's America, right?
Whose land is it though? The natives, right?
We're going to tell you.
So
Not just the
the
natives.
natives.
Not just the natives. This is whose land it is. This is whose land it is.
But it was Canaan
This-
before ours?
I'm talking about here, brother. Why you all over the place?
I'm sorry.
Learn to focus, man.
You're
I
right,
said,
you're
this
right.
is whose land it is.
Right. 'Cause
Israel. No, not because we're here. I'm going to show you. Read.
Second Ezra, chapter 7, verse 10. And I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also also is Israel's portion.
Uh-huh.
Because for their sakes I made the world.
For whose sake the world is created?
For Israel.
So who the world belongs to?
The world belongs to Israel.
That's all okay. Everywhere is ours.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? Everywhere is ours. So it doesn't matter who's living there, who's living here. You can be living, okay, like for example, when we were on the plantation, we say, okay, this is Master Charles' plantation, but you were living in the shack though, on the same plantation. Okay, these people, they were created to be our servants.
Right.
Bring it
No.
out. Our servants. That's what the nation's purpose is.
Right.
To serve us. Are we not called
Before the coming of Christ.
to serve us? Period. That's what it was for.
Right.
Now, when you read the curses.
Even after we was cursed, they still was supposed to serve us.
So okay, let me ask you. Let me ask. So there are certain questions you're asking. It shows me that you are not you're not unfamiliar with the Bible. Listen to.
I'm Bible all day.
Brother, can I speak? So it shows me that you are not unfamiliar with the Bible. And some of those questions, I have the intention that you're asking them on purpose.
I'm asking them so that I can
Nah,
make sure I'm not
hold on. So if you Bible all day, right?
Yes, sir.
You Bible all day.
Yes, sir.
You ask, the first question you asked was that, did Israel live together with the Hamites? And certain questions. At the end of the day, right? We can go through all these questions all day, right? Now this is the thing. What is our purpose?
What is
Our purpose.
Israel's purpose?
No, what is our purpose here?
our purpose?
Why we
here?
hit the street today? Or any day?
Your purpose was to enlighten us so we could come back to the Father
Okay, how you come back to the Father?
by following the law, statutes, and commandments.
So that's the point.
Right.
That's the key point.
Right,
The law, statutes, and commandments. But you're not asking any question about those.
right, because the law, statutes, and commandments, I got that. Now,
You got that.
right, look, notice, you're not out here teaching, you're out here talking about the whole picture. You're teaching a lot of stuff. You're not
You
just
said-
teaching the law, statutes, and commandments.
I am.
No, you are, but you're also pointing out history and everything.
Based on your questions. So that's the reason why I said, those questions you're asking, they seem strategic for a reason.
Right,
But the thing is this.
I know I gotta follow law, statutes, and commandments. That's it.
Alright,
Now I want to get.
Okay, so you say you got the law, statutes, and commandments, right?
I know that's what it's about. Nothing else.
Then after that, what do you do?
After the law, statutes, and commandments,
I
I don't. There's nothing else.
There's nothing else you say.
Oh, Josh.
Yeah, sorry. So listen to this. After you say you got the laws, right? So what does the Bible command you after you learn the laws?
Well, go spread the gospel.
So why you ain't doing it?
Oh, I spread the gospel all the time, all day. When I see y'all, I'm here. Whoa.
So what it, okay,
I ain't walking away from.
that's the
y'all.
point.
And I'm supposed to be somewhere, but I am not walking.
That's the
away.
point. That's the point. If you know it, you're supposed to be teaching your people.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Read that.
Second Ezra, chapter 14, verse 13. Now therefore, set thine house in order.
Set your house in order. Starting with you, set yourself in order, your wife in order, your children in order, everything in your house you gotta set in order. How you set things in order? By regulation, rules, laws, statutes, and commandments.
And reprove thy people.
Then, since that's what you said you got that. So you understand the law. So you're supposed to be, this is not a suggestion. That also is a law.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because us that's teaching, you're not going to catch us in front of nobody kept asking those type of questions. Because now we should be doing the word. We should be doing what the word said.
Right.
Not comes in as this question, that question. You can study those at home.
You're absolutely right.
You see what I'm saying?
No, you're absolutely right. I was only asking, the questions I was asking was only to help me with the questions I get asked.
No problem.
But you guys are excellent. You're absolutely
Look,
right.
you could have gotten a flyer and called the number and we'll go over that. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to teaching, you know what I'm saying? So if you, like for example, you know the law, that means you're no longer sick. Right?
Right.
So therefore, since you got the medicine, go teach the sick. The ones that need it. You see what I'm saying? So you imagine, I call him, or I go over his house, and all we do is go over the scriptures, boom, 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 boom. We already know it. What about the other ones that don't know it? So if the elders was doing the same thing, how would we have gotten it? We wouldn't have gotten it yet, because it would have stayed with them. So that's the reason why once you learn it, your next job is to go teach.
Right.
It's spreading the gospel. We're going to gather the elect, all the 144,000 plus the multitude, then we get the hell out of here.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's a job. That's one law you ain't doing yet.
All right, I'm doing that stuff when I leave with you guys.
So you just coming from work? No problem. You just coming from work? Okay. So you have your fringes on.
I do not have my fringes on.
Why you not? Why don't you?
There is not a good enough reason to tell you. I do not, and I should have on my fringes. I should definitely have on my fringes.
But you say you go to law. No, my job is to remind you. That's why we need one another, ain't we? Ain't it? Yeah, so I'm going to show you, okay, wait for it, show that, get it done, and let's move on.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.